Hello, it is 9 p.m. in Djibouti. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state inaugurate the Center of Entrepreneurship and Leadership. For the international scene, concerning the elections, the beginning of the official campaign of elections in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Welcome to our newsrooms. The Entrepreneurship and Leadership Centers was inaugurated this morning by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh. The Entrepreneurship and Leadership Centers, known for this CLE acronyms, is the first national incubators as support structures for business creations projects. These incubation centers aim to provide support in terms of accommodation, advice, and funding during the early stages of the life of the company. This center will teach young people the techniques of studying the needs of local market and the methods of drawing up timelines for a reliable entrepreneurship project. The future centers of excellences and incubations will provide entrepreneurial training. It will also enable the emergence of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises or industry. Is in the future according to concordant projections of experts. This innovation center will incubate the idea of entrepreneurship to young people, turn the innovations ideas of entrepreneurs into successful companies in order to create successful and financially viable businesses and thus enable the socio-professional integrations of young people, encourage and promote young people self-employment so that they in turn participate in the development of economic growth. Its mission will be the creation of SMEs financing public and private market as well as the business environment while strengthening the technical and managerial capabilities of a small and medium-sized company. This center reflects the will and ambitions of the government through this initiative, which is to boost the small and medium enterprises to success by offering them expertise for inclusive growth. The inaugurations of this center saw the participation of the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Khan Mohammed, the President of the National Assembly Mr. Mohammed Ali Ahmed, Member of Government, senior management of the administrations, the Army Corps by the land of young investors, innovators, and entrepreneurs. After the official speech, the President of the Republic visited the new incubation center. The first building aims innovation including robotic, electronic robot multi-position, the printer in 3D, virtual reality drops, and artificial intelligence, as well as expertise from a wide range of specialty to produce groundbreaking invention that take advantage of the latest development in material science, robotics, electronic, and computer sciences. The center provides its exceptional community of entrepreneurs with the environment, support, and resources they need, not only to grow but to thrive while forging of ecosystems for innovation. This building will be the keystone to develop and create a research-intensive dynamic. The ambassador of India to Djibouti, he said in a speech the Mahatma Gandhi Center inaugurated here today by the President of the Republic testifies to the importance of the Djibouti-Indian fraternal relations. Listen to this report.
Paying tribute to Mahatma Gandhi in the year of celebrations of his 150th birth anniversary. The symbolism of locating such a center in Africa dedicated to Mahatma Gandhi is all the more since it was in Africa where Mahatma Gandhi lived for 21 long years. It was also in Africa that he started his lifelong fight against oppression and injustice, which finally led not only to the independence of India, but eventually to the independence of all African countries. The Mahatma Gandhi Center will be a lasting symbol of India-Djibouti friendship. This center will support and train youth of Djibouti and equip them with requisite skills as future entrepreneurs.
Finance Minister Sidias Musa Dawale thanked the Indian government for the creation of this center. He reiterated that youth was at the very head of the government agenda. Further, the ministers praised the president's effort for reforms undertaken, including improving the business climate. The ministers pointed out in his speech that Djibouti is changing the world through globalization is in a hyper-connected world. This center, he said, is synonymous of with the future. For his part, the head of state, Ismail Omar Gheli, reminded that entrepreneurship is the link that regulates each economy in fuel to enjoy the maxes, and it is the only able to absorb as many unemployed. Listen to the head of state.
الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الأمين سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today to celebrate the inauguration of the Mahatma Gandhi Center, the Leadership and Entrepreneurship Center. This center is intended to go along with future startups. This center is the very first business incubator across the country. Its idea is to put innovation at the heart of growth and serving businesses, and by that fostering young entrepreneurship and exalting the desire and enthusiasm of a generation that has decided to take charge and contribute to the socio-economic development of our country. As you know, I have at all time advocated for initiatives to focus on the creations of small and medium-sized enterprise that form the basis of any healthy and dynamic economy and are the only one capable of producing the jobs of tomorrow. Indeed, our economic dynamism is closely linked to the faith that we reserve for these ideas, most often carried by our young people and that are likely to be promising. As we know, young entrepreneurs and innovators are most often the most likely to take risk and innovate, but also the first to adopt the new product that flow from them. That's why incubators, by providing shared space and operating resources as well as advice from professionals such as accountant, marketing consultant, and business advisors associated with the incubation center and acting as mentors are valuable tools for supporting companies and therefore their viability. They play a springboard for project leaders who are often looking for an integrated.
Once again, please listen to the head of state, Ismail Omar Guelleh.
Je suis donc très heureux et très enthousiaste que cet incubateur voit enfin le jour.
As its name suggests, the incubator helps to grow an idea until the maturation. It is therefore involved in a critical phase of business creation. I'm therefore very happy and very enthusiastic that this incubator is finally emerging because it was until now the missing link in the system of support for business creation wanted by the government. However, there is one last aspect that should not be overlooked, without which these flourishing ideas cannot be realized. This is the crucial part of viability and financial support for these young companies. Here again, the incubator play a key role because by bringing together and supporting these companies, it will ensure that the fundamental of their financial equilibrium are ensured. By this, I mean that the service of the incubator will make it possible to build up a financial and accounting balance sheet worthy of the name and which will have to allow its customers to go to seek financing, but also, especially from the private actors, to be able to trust and therefore to invest in the forms of equity. Finally, with this new center, young entrepreneurs will find an appropriate space for their confidence building, the valorizations of their project, and the handling of advanced equipment, notably using virtual reality and artificial intelligence. By being able to offer the favorable ecosystem to hatch their geniuses, ideas, and innovative projects, our young startups will be able to distinguish themselves among their peers on the African continent and even compete with developed countries. The generations of entrepreneurs who I hope will emerge from this incubation center will contribute to the transformation of our country. These startups will develop new business sectors that currently stand out as the most dynamic in the global economy. For all these reasons, you will find my full support. Finally, I cannot conclude my remarks without paying a special tribute to the Indian government for the construction of this complex. In my personal name and on behalf of my government, I express to them all the gratitudes of the Djiboutian people.
Then the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, went to another building where he met with different entrepreneurs of the places in an auditorium. They exchanged on their different causes and experiences, but also challenges they overcame. They emphasized the importance of a state of mind focused on action and creation in a dynamic by seeking solutions to the environment and society. The head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, along with all the members of the government, commended the effort undertaken by these entrepreneurs. The head of state also told everyone that they should have shown the way to the youth so that they can in turn become the key drivers of economic growth and sustainable the country. Listen now to the different interventions of the participant.
And then here we have the latest technology for the young generation. And then my message for youngsters here, and I'm telling you that do what you love and everything will follow. And then here everything's perfect, everything's good, right? So all you have to do is like bring your ideas, and then just bring your ideas. You don't need no education. You just only need to use your mind. Just like use your intelligence, and then everything will come like step by step. So you don't need to worry. You don't need like a higher degree, a higher PhD. All you need to come is with an idea, very smart ideas. If you see people in the world here, most of them were not educated.
As part of the Entrepreneurship Week, taking place from 19 to 24 November in the whole of the country, the antenna of the Young Entrepreneurs Club of the Ali Sabih region closed yesterday morning in the regional councils of Ali Sabih, the week of business. The Egyptian Young Entrepreneurs Clubs and young entrepreneurs from the different sectors of the Asajok region took part in the event. On this occasion, the president of the Anti-Alliance Club of Young Entrepreneurs of Ali Sabih, Fathia Idle Dubad, thanked the team of young entrepreneurs or Djibouti leaders at the head of the CGED, Shukri Abdullahi, to honor their presence at the ceremony of closing of Entrepreneurship Week in Ali Sabih. Through this week, the club intends to promote entrepreneurial culture, a concept that is starting to take root in society and nourishes the hope of young graduates. In her intervention, President Shukri Abdullahi emphasized the importance of entrepreneurship in our country and encouraged young people around the world to embark on entrepreneurship. The Egyptian Entrepreneurs Club celebrate the second days of International Entrepreneurship Week, which turns from November 19 to 24 as a result of the Tajura region's young youth club dedicate these days to exhibitions of handicrafts, of which the pioneers AFT and its sisters participate, also young entrepreneurs from different sectors. The new startup called Wadba was on this occasion as artists such as Idishi Art have presented their magnificent works to the public. On this occasion, the president of the Tajura Young Business Clubs, Mr. Ali Ismail Dimbio, thanked all the Gulf of Hotel Sable Blanc and Hotel Corto Maltese for the contributions of this day, as well as the participants and members of the club who made to the exhibition state of success. After caravans of awareness in different localities of the Tajura region, this day is to bring together all the entrepreneurs of the regions to show the importance of entrepreneurship in everyday life. This year's the chosen theme is the valuations of small trades. The first Pan-African Forum on Migration performs for closed yesterday afternoon at the People's Palace in the presence of the Minister of Interior, Mr. Hassan Omar Mohamed, coordinators of the migration policy of the government of Djibouti. The theme of 3 days conference was leveraging the benefit of the free movement of persons for sustainable development in Africa. Provide a platform where stakeholders concerned with migrations in Africa had the opportunity to exchange their reflections on the progress made so far in the implementation of the protocol on free movement and the challenges that it comprises. The specific objectives of the platform was to give participants the opportunity to assess the progress made in sensitization relating to the protocol on free movement, to identify the benefit and difficulties faced by member states in ratifying the protocol on freedom of movement in Africa, and to develop solutions in this regard. This is also a need that identify specific issues, including those of the destinations countries and host communities in the implementation of the protocol and in order to develop a relevant strategy that can solve them. The traditional family photo officially closed the first performance that the Republic of Djibouti was lucky to have hosted. In a closing speech, the Ministers of Interior, Hassan Umar Mohammed, coordinators of the government migrations policy, he congratulated the three organizations, in this case the African Union, International Organization for Migration, and the Intergovernmental Authority for Development, IGAD, and all teams for the organizations of this important meeting held from 19 to 21 November 2018 in Djibouti. His Excellency Dr. Mr. Jayuddin Said Bamakrama, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Djibouti to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, was received on Wednesday, November 2018 by His Excellency the President of the Authority of Civil Aviation in the Kingdoms of Saudi Arabia, Mr. Abdul Hakim Atamimi. The discussions to the cooperation and in particular the trainings of Djibouti executives at the Institute of Aviation as well as the air link between the two sisters countries, which will soon be through the national airlines Air Djibouti consulars at the embassy. Mr. Zakaria Hussein accompanied the ambassador during this meeting. On the evenings of 20 and 21 November 2018, in Coast Guard patrol team of the Djiboutian Coast Guard and the Navy conduct a joint operation that led to the arrest of 8 Yemeni vessels in fuel operation, illegal fishing in the waters of the north of our country. The 8 vessels with a totals of 50 crew members, including 3 Djibouti national and 39 nationals of Yemeni origin, were immediately intercepted and escorted to Djibouti. A significant amount of different types of fish were be assessed aboard this vessel as part of this operation. This joint operation is testified to the success of the cooperation between our institutions, which joined their effort and their human and their material means to prevent such acts in the water under Djiboutian jurisdictions. They both are subject to seizure pending a decision of the court, and individuals will be brought to justice. The investigations of this case was entrusted to the Brigade of Investigation and Judicial Affairs of the Coast Guard. The late Arba family, heard by the death of the late Hasna Dable today in Djibouti. The deceased Hasna Dable, widows of the former deputy, the late Mohammed Arba. She was also the mother of the former deputy, Mr. Mohammed Dileta Arba, born in 1940. The late Hasna Dable leaves behind a large family, including dozens of children and grandchildren. In these painful circumstances, we share the pains of the bereaved, the family to whom were present our sincere condolences to his large family in Djibouti and all over the world, and we pray the good God to welcome the deceased Hasna in his eternal paradise. In addition, the ministers, the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the former Prime Minister Dileta Mohammed Dileta, the Ambassador of Djibouti to Germany, Adan Mohammed Dileta, extend their sincere condolences to the family of the deceased Hasna Dabale. On his side, the Ministers of Decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohammed Aramis, passes the condolences to the family of the deceased. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And concerning the international scene, Congolese President Joseph Kabila has exceptionally summoned the press on Thursday morning, the official day for launching The campaign for the election is scheduled for December 23 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The national and international press were invited to visit the private residence of the head of state in Kingati for what would be his second conference of the year. The presidential, legislative, and the provincial elections planned for December 23 are supposed to organize the successions of the President Kabila, who could no longer represent himself according to the constitution. In total, 21 candidates are in the running for this major pool. The elections campaign for the presidential, legislative, and provincial election begin this Thursday, November 22, 2018 at midnight through the Democratic Republic of Congo and ends on Friday, December 21, 2018 at midnight, said the Commission's Independent National Electoral Councils in a statement. And this is it for tonight's news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.